It's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Cleveland Browns. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
The tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up second down. The Browns at 3-1 here through their first 4 games, and they're hitting their stride of late, winners of 3 of their last 4.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The throw over the middle taken in, and he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Watson. Flushed out right. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
To the air yet again, Watson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Here's a 6-year man, Austin Eckler. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Big impact play, a tackle for loss.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Herbert now. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Browns will take over, first and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed him up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense. How do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 on a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Joey Bosa in on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Watson escaping the pressure right. Completes it right side to Cooper. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 30. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
It's hard to believe with all this production that Amari Cooper keeps changing teams, but no matter where he goes, he just continues to produce. 3 years in Oakland, traded. 3 years in Dallas, traded again, this time to the Cleveland Browns. And now with the Browns here,
nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 30. 7-yard line. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Watson to the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 17 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll run for it. Chubb. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. Here's Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Charger drive about to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 3rd and 4 now. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Now he'll escape to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
They'll run with Hunt on second down, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
On third down, here's Hunt. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down. Here's Corey Bojorquez now to punt this one away. Here's Jackson to return. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork two guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Allen's first catch. Good for a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. They'll get this out wide to Eckler. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. .157 to go in this first half on EA Sports. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Off of play action, it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on third down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. On the return, Jackson. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. He'll find Everett there, complete. Touchdown! Gerald Everett, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Hopkins with the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Browns drive about to get started. And they've got just under 50 seconds, so time enough to try to work their way downfield if they so choose. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Watson. Dancing to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Throwing on third down, Watson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Jackson. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Going up top. And that is incomplete.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. Flush to his right. Gets it to his running back, Cannon. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. This is brought in at the 21. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded right around the 8. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. That penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 15. He'll hand off here to Eckler, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 10. Once more, here's Eckler. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
In every game, teams are looking for that momentum shift, and that run there, the offense feels like, hey, maybe we can get something going, but defensively, they've slowed them down the entire game. They don't want to turn into more. They're going to try and figure out a way to take it back on this next play.
Herbert on 3rd down now. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. And taken right on the 30. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Steps away to his left. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time. Up the middle, it's Chubb. Dances by him. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to it. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down, a nice, consistent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Charger drive about to get going. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. Throw downfield going to be taken in by Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, a 22.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Anthony Schwartz, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. From the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. On 1st down, Justin Herbert. He's going to air one out. And this one is incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Herbert. He finds his man, complete. That's Cannon. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And they'll run again. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. His 5th rushing touchdown on the year, 6th overall. And the Chargers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point good by Hopkins. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack, or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
And he's going to have a Browns first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Watson on first down. Flushed out right. And he completes it to Hunt. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Watson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cooper. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
On 1st down, Chubb able to get forward for about 4 as he's taken down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. Oh, that was never on target. It's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game. That one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. Escaping the pressure right. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that is incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Eluding the pressure right. Open man, Parham. He's got him. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. From the gun, a run with Cannon. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Herbert. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Herbert. Flush to his right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
On fourth down, Herbert. And Allen's got it. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. A new lease on life after the fourth down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing, Herbert. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And, oh, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. They took their shot for the end zone. Almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Browns have just about sewn up this football game.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And checking the timeouts. They do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. 47 yards on the ground for him so far. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Now Watson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So pass interference the call, and that does not look to be going over too well on the defensive side.
Or on their sideline, because I believe their head coach is saying right now, hey, you've got to call that both ways.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. This is caught. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead now up to 14. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for the Browns, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.